Going RB. Wrong graphic up on screen. This is the one that we wanted. This is the one that we need. RB. It's a tough build depending on your draft spot. It's also a fantastic build depending on your draft slot. Draft slot's kind of everything when it comes to some of these strategies. And as I've mentioned time and time again, and I will continue to mention, you should not be taking any one of these sub strategies into your draft and trying to implement it without any sort of plan of withdrawing or aborting mission, at least because of what best player available the board will give you. But we will talk about how to deploy running back when best player available presents itself. And we'll talk about the four horsemen. We'll talk about the tripod. You guys remember the tripod? This little number here?
The tripod strategy, inspired by pyramids in ancient Egypt, involves drafting running backs in rounds 1 and 2, followed by a quarterback in rounds 3 or 4, which can potentially turn the tripod into a quadpod.
And then when you grab a couple of these wide receivers right here in the 4th and 5th round, that's how you build the running back, or the quad pod. In round 3 can be a running back as well. We'll talk about that right now. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
This is not a strategy that you should be taking it. I see people say this all the time. Running back is the best way to go. It's not the best way to go. The best way to go is to let the board give you what the board's going to give you. That is the best way to go. It's just, this could become the best player available strategy that BPA hands you, and you need to be prepared to be able to draft it. This is kind of like, are you going to go out there and swing at a pitch that is not a home run pitch, but you're getting a single off it? Do you walk up to the plate and say, I'm swinging away, Merrill, and I'm hitting a home run? Or do you take what's given to you? When you're drafting from the 10 or 11 spot or the 12 spot, the dumbest thing you could do is go, I'm going running back. The dumbest thing you could do at any point is decide you're going something before you even know what's going on. If your coach draws up a play in basketball and says, take it down the right sideline, and I want you to do a right-handed layup and take 17 steps between one baseline to the next, and just, that's it. You're taking that plan of attack. No, you abort mission, you cut left, you crossover, you spin move, you switch hands, you make a left-handed layup because of what was given to you. Anybody drafting a specific strategy every time doesn't know what in the hell they're doing. Best player available will give you hero running back sometimes. Best player available will hand you early quarterback. Best player available will hand you tight end in round 2. Best player available is the only way to draft. The sub strategy is just defining what you did. But being prepared, doing $5, $3 drafts where you try to massage the direction of the draft, if you will, try and implement a running back, or you do so many drafts like I do, you can pretty much guarantee that a balanced approach is almost guaranteed, easily had at 11, at 12, at 10. And so balanced approach is also something you can't say I'm doing no matter what. Balanced approach is you come out of round number 1 and round number 2 with a running back wide receiver or a wide receiver running back. That's balance. If you come out with an RB wide receiver and you get to rounds 3 and 4, you are not beholden to a position of need. It is the best strategy you could possibly deploy, is the balanced approach. And balance meaning the running back, wide receiver, running back. Even more important is to get, if you can come out with that RB wide receiver in the middle of round 2 and then McBride falls right here, that is fantastic. You're talking about complete balance. Or if you do go Josh Allen, that is nice here as well. and gives you a total balance. And this would be the tripod.
The tripod strategy, inspired by pyramids in ancient Egypt, involves drafting running backs in rounds 1 and 2, followed by a quarterback in rounds 3
which is only Allen,
which can potentially turn the tripod into a quadpod.
Which is only Allen. Allen's the only third round quarterback. We used to have different years where other quarterbacks could linger in round 3. But the important part about the quad pod or the tripod is coming out with 2 of these wide receivers. And the beautiful part about the top of round 4 is that Malik Neighbors is there at 4.1 to 4.4 right now. So you can literally go Malik Neighbors and Adams, Malik Neighbors and Mike Evans, Malik Neighbors and Lad McConkey or Buka Neighbors. You can literally do that from 4 and 5 in some situations. But grabbing a RB is not the easiest move to make from every single draft strategy. It just isn't. From the number 1 pick, it is, because you can go Gibbs, Love, and then you immediately get Pickens or Nico or whatever. That's easy. Running back is not hard from the 1 pick. Running back's not hard from the 2 pick. Running back's not really that hard from the 3 pick. Starts to get progressively harder as you get toward the middle of round 1. And then it can be easy to do it from pick 11 and 12, but then you're a little bit, beholden to what wide receivers fall. But this is not a bad approach. It's so much easier than going wide receiver, which is almost nearly impossible from the 12 pick. But in round 1 and 2, if let's say you're at the 12 pick, you go with a running back approach. You go with, let's say, Genty and Hampton, which is a fantastic, or even if you go early Achane and Hampton. Achane kind of goes, right around this 12, 13, 14, 15 territory. But let's just make this, let's say Genty goes too high. So you get Hampton and Achane. This is not hard to get Egbuka and Neighbors. And that's fine with me. And if you don't want to go the Neighbors route for whatever reason, Mike Evans goes around 4 pretty consistently. This is a fantastic duo wide receiver room to start off with, going Achane Hampton. It's a death sentence to go wide receiver at the 1-2 pick. The ADP will almost certainly not reward you. If you get JJ and let's say you go AJB, who we love. So JJ and AJB right here, you're probably getting Javonte Williams at best. And then you don't even get Kyron. Who knows what in the hell you're getting here, but you're not winning a championship as Javonte Williams is your number 1 running back. You're just not. So don't go running back unless you feel comfortable, you feel versed in it. The board gives it to you, and you're not looking at a near equal strategy of balance that's there available to you. I would not choose running back over running back wide receiver or wide receiver running back if wide receiver running back or running back wide receiver balance is sitting there for me. And what I mean by that is if you give me 2 opportunities right here at the 1-2 and I can get AJB almost every single time. I can get JJ sometimes right there. I can absolutely get London if I want. One of these players is certainly the way I want to go if I have an RB already. If you were to go wide receiver here, then you're easily going to get Walker, Hampton, Achane, Chase Brown, somebody at the round 2 pick. So you're pretty much guaranteed. Even this goes for pick 10, 11, and 12. Any one of those picks right there, you're easily getting wide receiver, running back, wide receiver with ease without even really a hesitation. There's no concern. Why? Because the reaching of AJB and London are what the move you'll likely make for this 13, this 14 and 15 overall pick. 13, 14, and 15, you're almost guaranteed one of AJB or London. So you have a safety valve mechanism built in. Now, if you don't like those guys, and you want to try RB, I just gave you the plan of attack. Nothing wrong with Buka and Evans. I'm fine with that. Running back. Now, if you're trying to do running back from the middle of round 1, we all know that the top of round 1's easy as can be because if you have round 3 right here, you're getting, Nico or whoever with your Jeremiah Love, or you're getting Pickens with your Jeremiah Love. So it's not even going running back in your mind. It's going running back, wide receiver, running back. You can call it whatever you want. If you're drafting in the middle of round number 1 and 2, and let's say you take Genty here or CMC or whoever you like, AJB in London, you'll almost always get one of them at the center of round 2. So if you did end up going, let's say you went early Jeremiah Love instead. So you're RB. So early Jeremiah Love in round number 2. And then in round number 3, you take Buka. And round number 4, you take Evans, or you take, if Neighbors should fall. I got Neighbors at 4.6 and 4.7 yesterday. He continues to fall. You're still going to get Buka. You have a more likely chance of getting Buka now with the mid-range pick. And you're certainly going to still have a shot at Mike Evans. Now, if Mike Evans goes, I'm fine, honestly, going Adams here. I'm fine going a handful of players in this territory that makes sense. You're almost guaranteed to get one of, let's call it Devontae Adams. Let's call it Lab McConkey. Probably goes more in this top part of 4 if he does fall. You could essentially, if you wanted to, go like Colston Loveland here and just take like a BTJ and DK later with your Buka, but you are riding a little bit light in your wide receiver room. I don't know that I prefer that option, but running back certainly possible. You just got to be careful and you got to be versed in it. If you don't know what you're doing with it and you just hear about it, I heard running back's great, you could really screw up your draft. The safest thing you could do is balance. If I could give anybody, a newbie, a veteran, somebody that just wants a piece of advice, Smitty, tell me something. Tell me something to take into my draft. I'm not a newbie, or I am a newbie. It doesn't matter. It's balance. Take balance into round 3. Come out of round 1 and 2 with a running back and wide receiver, or wide receiver running back. And I promise you, you'll feel so good at the 3 and 4 picks because you're not beholden to any position of need. There's nothing better than being free of that burden of saying, I got to get an RB here. I got to get a wide receiver here. That puts you in the most vulnerable position as a draft builder. Not a lot of news today. Phone lines are open. USA's down 0-1. We'll keep tabs on that. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
We'll be drafting tonight on Underdog. So dial in. USA down 0-1. Doesn't feel good, I'll tell you that, but I still have faith here. If you guys have anything you want to discuss, please send it my direction via Super Chat or a phone call in regards to best player available or running back. Caller, you're live. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello?
Hello?
What's up? You're live. Who's this?
Hey, Smitty. It's Andrew calling from New York.
What's up, Andrew?
What's going on, Smitty? My problem this year is I'm having a problem with the 2-3 turn when I'm drafting right now. Like, I want to go running back, and then I don't know if I should go running back, or I know you did a board yesterday. I watched that video. I wasn't here for the live, but I'm really having a problem at that 2-3. 3-4 turn.
But here's the major lesson that I've been teaching today is why would you plan anything? That's kind of my whole point today is why are people saying I don't know what to do? I should go running back, or why would you draft positions? Like that's
right. That's available.
It's almost asinine to me. It's asinine to me. I can't tell you how many times a day I get asked, should I go running back? I want to look at somebody and say, do you even know how to play fantasy football? Like, who's teaching you this? Why are you watching somebody that's telling you to draft a certain position? It's like my basketball example. You're driving down the court and your coach tells you to take 17 steps and make a right-handed layup from the right side of the key. Like what do you why would you try and go down the constraints of something like that, the road that you have no idea what kind of obstacles are on the road. You got to be able to divert. So when you ask me,
Right.
you don't know what to do with the 2-3 turn, you take the best player available. But what pick are you talking about? And I'll walk you through the most likely examples. So if you're at the 2-3 turn,
So I'm pick 10 and 12 men.
okay. So let me go to the mock board. I just it's so crazy to me that people, and I'm not saying you specifically, Andrew, but that people don't like see the value in this, or that for some reason, because they had success last year with a certain strategy, they think it's going to rinse and repeat no matter what the board gives them. Okay, so if you're drafting at 10, who are you most likely to draft at that 10 pick if you had to give me a name? The guy that you're pretty much like, I think I'm taking him if he's there. I just want to know.
10 is so hard, but I would say like JSN, something like that.
JSN's not falling to 10. That's a top 5 pick. I take Gibbs.
Leagues,
Gibbs is there. Take him.
all right, Gibbs won't be there. So
I know.
I'll say Justin Jefferson. Jefferson.
There we go. JSN.
Be realistic. I'm sorry, Smitty. I'll be in my own little land sometimes.
It's fine, bro. Okay. If you go JJ at 10, USA scored. 1-1. Hold on, I gotta rewatch this play. USA scored.
Oh, USA just scored?
Let's go. 1-1. Woo! Wow. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I missed the actual. I saw it in the net, but I didn't see like the setup. So hold on, let me play by play this. Man. Okay. So it looks like what is this, a corner? It's showing no, it's a free. This is a free kick. Oh, it looked like it was a header by.
Ooh.
Oh, he headed it in his own net. But I mean, that wasn't a lucky. That was a goal, a shot on goal, a penalty, or not a penalty kick, but a free shot on goal from like 30 yards out. Wow! And the Belgium guy hit it with his head, trying to nudge the trajectory off, and it just still went in. But that was fantastic. 1-1.
Let's go USA. Okay. Let's go.
Okay, what are we talking about here?
JJ.
Okay, so if you go JJ, bro, my advice to you, unless you want to flush your money down the toilet, is to go running back. That is not to suggest that I'm picking a position, but best player available is 100%. In the running backs are so plentiful here, it's an absolute brick wall of RBs. So I can guarantee you that a running back is at least equal in value as a wide receiver. So, oh, come on. Belgium just scored on. What in the hell? That quickly they respond and score? Oh, boy.
Oh my God!
No defense at all. That was just straight savage header into the corner. So they bring it down. What passing? Belgian guy dribbles. Oh God, he that it was a crosser from the left side of the field all the way to about the middle of the goal, and the guy just headed it right in.
Oh God, USA defense so trash.
Yeah, that was bad. I don't know. I'm not feeling good about this. Okay, so JJ, if you're drafting JJ at 10, you have your choice of Genty, Hampton, Walker,
Right. Yep.
Achane, Chase Brown. The only wide receivers that come into play here, AJB and London, but they immediately do not become the best player available because you already have a wide receiver. If you
Right.
want to
Okay.
draft AJ, so my question to you would be this: if you want to have AJB or London on your team more than JJ, you need to take a running back earlier with this 10 pick and take AJB with the second rounder. But come
Okay,
out
that
with
makes sense.
balance. If you come out with wide receiver, you're flushing your money down the toilet because you're going to have
Right.
Javonte Williams as your running back one, who I like, but that's not a running back one, bro. You're
So, Smitty,
cooked.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I mean, so if let's say I went hero RB, right? I draft Genty first. Could I wait? So you would take AJB in the second round? Like I'm
Absolutely.
just okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
Hero RB, I'm completely fine with.
Okay. All
Completely
right,
fine
that's
with.
all. That answered my question. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm good now.
Hero RB is fine. Don't force it, but I tend to draft it a ton because it's
Yeah, towards
always
the bottom half of the
it,
draft, I kind of have to. It kind of forces your hand a
it's
little.
always very plentiful. So if you were to go Genty here, let's say at 10, you get lucky and he falls. He might not always fall. AJB almost guaranteed unless you're in New England or something. Almost guaranteed to be available at your corresponding top of round 2 pick. Then you get to round number 3, which is the end of round 3. Who are you thinking there? Josh Allen's there.
Josh Allen.
Malik Neighbors is there. McBride sometimes falls. If he's there, you got to take McBride at that late of a pick. He
Okay.
probably won't. Let's say it's Josh Allen. I'm fine with that. Then in round 4, let's say you go wide receiver. Let's say you take, let's say Ibuka falls. So you take
Right.
Ibuka, or if you have another receiver, you can toss out that player, and I'll put him on here. Neighbors is intriguing. So you get this combination here, where I typically abort, especially if I have a quarterback already in Josh Allen. Where I abort the hero is usually 5 because you've got Hendy, you've got Bucky, you've got Tootin.
Tootin, yeah.
You know, so you throw Tootin into this mix. This is a smash of a a very light hero RB approach that comes by way of best player available, not because you decided to just go hero RB no matter what. This is a really good team. This is a fantastic team. Then BTJ, or you get Drake May, or I've seen JD5.
That's what I was gonna ask. Instead of taking the 3-turn Josh Allen, do I wait till 5 to get May if he falls that far?
I mean, you could wait till 5. Do you think Tootin has a better chance of falling to 6 than May has a chance of falling to 6 in your draft, or what do you think?
That's hard to say because it's hard to say. I would say Tootin could drop to 6. I can't see Tootin dropping to 6 after everybody goes and gets.
Yeah, we'll see. So if you could get Hendy, Bucky, or Tootin in 6, I would definitely reach for Drake May. But
is Scatterboo in that too?
He's more like 4, but I would rather go with the Ibuka route, but I'm not hating Scatterboo. But anyway, Drake May top of round 6, Tootin bottom of round 5, or roughly the 10 pick in round 5. Okay, so yeah, this would be a fantastic approach. And if you were to go Drake May, then that means that in round 3 you can go Neighbors, you can go ETN if he's there, you can take Mike Evans, you could take Ibuka in 3, which I prefer him at 4, but if you're going like 2 wide receivers and you think there's a better chance Mike Evans falls, you could go Ibuka first and then go Mike Evans. You could go Lab McConkey and Ibuka. You could go Lab McConkey and Mike Evans if you wanted to take this route. I'm fine with that. Lad and Evans.
What do you rate DJ Moore?
I'm not anywhere in the top 4 drafted picks, and even when they get to 5 or 6 where I would consider them, I still love all these players better. Hendy, Bucky, Tootin, May, JD5, Joe Burrow, over. So like this is a really good approach. You could put Ibuka here instead of Mike Evans. So all these are league winning approaches, and they all stem.
And you're not afraid of Neighbors at all.
I am afraid of him not playing, weeks 1 through 4 or something if things go awry. But at 4th round value, no, I'm not worried about it. Would I stack all my teams with Neighbors in round 4? No. Would I take 20% shares of it? Maybe. Because I think it's so league winning that even if he misses the first 4 weeks and he comes back and he's kind of like, he's good, but he's not amazing until week 8 or 9 or something like that, you still can earn 4th round value, So 20% of my leagues, I could easily take Neighbors. If I draft in 5, I'm taking him in 1 in round 4. If I draft in 10, I'm taking him in 2. Um,
Gotcha.
come on.
That was pretty much it, Smitty.
All right, my boy. Appreciate you.
All right, you to go.
Later, bro. Thanks. Man, USA's just getting crushed. I mean, that goal was nice, but they got a little lucky, and then the defense is just looking pathetic right now. But hey, man, keep the faith. It looked out of hand. You know, he was only 1-0, but it looked out of hand, and all of a sudden it's 1-1. This like literally 30 seconds later, it's 2-1 again, though. What the hell's going on here? All right. Any super chats? I'll handle an order in what you received. Appreciate everybody over in the building. Do I like Cam Ward? Easy. I do. Yeah, I like Cam Ward. Cam Ward's pretty good, bro. Over on Rumble. Appreciate my Rumblers. Easy. Appreciate you, Shelly, in the building over on Rumble. Cam Ward's solid. Cam Ward finished real nice last year. About a month straight of 2 touchdowns in a row. 2 touchdowns. I think it was 4 straight games. Why take a QB in the 3rd when you get May? Because you don't know if you're going to get May in the 6th round. And Jake, it's really easy. It's not dumb to take a quarter. It's not dumb to take the number 1 scoring overall player in fantasy football. Why would that be dumb? Why would it be dumb? Whoever wrote that, if someone else wrote it, they agree it would be dumb. Why would it be dumb to take the number 1 overall scorer in round 3? It's almost dumb not to. But the question is, would you rather have Drake May in 6? If you can guarantee me he'll be there in 6, but someone could get cute. And on top of that, you got to understand that Drake May in 6 means that you don't get a BTJ in 6. Or let's say Tootin falls a little bit far, it slips there, or wherever. So you got to ask yourself, Josh Allen, who is it that said it was stupid? Who are you going to take? You're going to take Devontae Smith? So let's say in round number 3, I take Josh Allen, you take Devontae Smith, and you miss out on Drake May, but you get Caleb Williams. Okay? Congrats to you. So you got Devontae Smith and Caleb, and I have BTJ and Josh Allen. It's not crazy to go early QB. Anybody that says it's crazy to go QB in round 3, Josh Allen, doesn't know ball. I've already explained that. I'm sorry if that hurts anyone's feelings. It doesn't mean it's the only way to go. It means Drake May is the best pick in fantasy in round number 6. I've told you that over and over and over. This is the best pick in all of fantasy football. But you can't get it every time, and you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket every time. You'd rather have Devontae Smith and Caleb. Good for you, Trey. Good for you. Go take Devontae Smith in round 3 at 3.3. Have a field day. Have a field day with it. You're going to get it every time in a draft I'm in. I'll tell you that right now. Burrow and Daniels in round 6 as well. 5-6. Yeah, those are all fantastic picks. Man, USA, come on, score. All right, dial in. Hammer dropping a $20 wad in the Rumble machine. Hammer, appreciate that, young man. Doing work, Hammer. You're doing work, young man.
It's hammer time.
You'd rather take a quality QB in 4 and 5. Yeah, Jake, we get that. You've said that already. You've already said you'll pass on the number 1 scorer in fantasy football in round 3. You already told us that. That's unfortunate for you. You're live. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jacob, the 412 number. How are you?
What's up? What can I do for you? Is this Jake from the chat that just said it's trashing on Josh Allen, or is this a different Jake?
No, Ravens fan, Jake.
Oh, okay. Ray, what's up, Jake? Jacob or Jake? Ham or Pan?
Either or.
Okay.
Tomato.
What's up, my guy?
We're always asking you questions to help us, but what's your funniest fantasy story ever? Whether it's like a trade or a starter sit that changed the season. I'm sure you have a bunch of hilarious stories over the years.
I'd say my funniest story I've told once in a while was where my buddy and I, this is before I even did content, Janikowski. This is Janikowski played so long that's funny. It's way before I did YouTube. It was so far ago. But Janikowski, all he needed to do was score an extra point, and my friend would beat me in total points, and so we had a $100 bet on who would outscore who on the year, and he said if I paid him half now before the game kicked off, that I'd only owe him half. And I didn't, in my wildest dreams, think Janikowski wouldn't get a single point in the game, but they kept going for 2 every time they. So I ended up beating him, but paying him $50. But that was one story that was funny. That was painful. Those things that never work, just always let it ride. That ever since that happened, I remember saying to myself, like, I don't care what the pot is. I'm not splitting it. I'm not being a splitting Sammy. I'm just gonna go for it. Like, that's why you play. You play for the rush of it all. But anything can happen. Like, that's evidence of it. I never even thought there's no way Janikowski left him down by one. Or I think it was it was down by 1, and basically if he would have scored 2 extra points, but an extra point would have tied it. But yeah, it was down by 1. I forget, there was another story I told that was pretty funny, but I forget what it was. But I don't know. I got a lot of stories, man. I got a lot of crazy ones, but the best one of memory right now would be like when Trent Green went down, and I don't know who has an in-person draft anymore, but we're gathered around a table, and someone goes, with the number 1 overall pick I select, and someone goes, Kurt Warner. And everyone started laughing, and then Kurt Warner ends up being amazing. Like, things like that come to mind, but I don't know. What do you got? You got a funny story?
Well, yeah, last year at work, I hosted a draft party, and I happened to get blessed with the first overall pick, and I was kind of waffling back and forth. I took Bijan over Jamar, and everyone laughed at me.
Brian Robinson. Did you take Brian Robinson?
No, I took Bijan.
So why is that funny? How is that a good story?
Well, everyone was like, "Oh, Jamar's gonna have like 1 million points and this and that." Luckily, I ended up winning the league. So
okay, yeah, no, Bijan's the man, bro. But yeah, a couple of people took Brian Robinson Jr. already this year. I've seen like reports of it because they're on the same team, Atlanta. Brian Robinson, Bijan, like that's gonna be bad. A lot of people are gonna do that. A lot of people.
Yeah, it looks better than taking Devontae Smith in the 3rd.
Yeah. Anything else, bro?
Oh, I had one silly question. Do you believe in the power plant theory for the 49ers?
You mean this one right here? Let me see if I can find the power plant. Hold on. I got it somewhere here. Where the hell is the power plant video? I have this one.
Meanwhile, at a power plant next to the Niners facility, a project special name Covert Electrical Man-Made Soup. Warning. Warning. Maximum level EMF transmission overload. Warning. Warning. Abandoned facility. Restarting autoceptors. Studio lights. Restarting.
It's touchdown season for Mike Evans.
So I guess to answer your question, I think there is some truth to it. But I don't know. There's got to be something to it, There's got to be something to it. I don't know that it causes injuries, but maybe it does allow for susceptible muscles and stuff to have a little more weakness or something. Who knows? I mean, I don't know about you, bro, but when I've walked by some of those big power plants, the ones that like hum, I've felt weird. If you ever set your cell phone on your chest and you're texting, I feel sometimes weird in my chest, and I have to pull the phone away. Like electrical, there's probably something to it. But it doesn't scare me away from Mike Evans. Doesn't scare me away from any player specifically.
Yeah, especially if they're in the Shanahan system.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but there's definitely something to it. I think it's just probably not going to affect every player. All right, my boy, appreciate you. Call back if you got another one.
All right, thanks.
Trey, you still going on and on about the early quarterback? You don't know what you're talking about, bro. The truth of the matter is you can win 100 different ways. You can win early quarterback. You can win late quarterback. I told you about Drake May in round 6. We invented that, and you should draft that. But for you to suggest that early quarterback is not a good strategy because of it's not true. It's nonsense. Stop embarrassing yourself. There are 100 ways to win. The corresponding player you get where you would have drafted a quarterback if you do waiting on a quarterback strategy is still a good player. That apples to apples comparison, Josh Allen and that player versus the player you take instead of Josh Allen and the quarterback later. It's apples to apples comparison. Stop acting like there's some sort of like guarantee or that you know what you're talking about taking early quarterbacks because you heard it on another channel. Because it's nonsense. Go, USA, go! Oh! Damn it. Thanks again, Hammer, for dropping the $20 super chat in the building. For the grind, he says. For the grind. Man, I don't know. This isn't feeling good right now. How much time is left with the overage? Which never seems to be extremely accurate about how much time they go over. All right. You have to get the rest of your picks right. No, Jake. You have to get the rest of your picks right no matter what. Whether you go late, you have to get late quarterback right, Jake. You heard this somewhere. You're repeating it, Jake. It's embarrassing. Stop. You have to get the rest. If you go early quarterback, you have to get the rest of your picks right. Is that how the phrase goes? He's just repeating what he's hearing. Like, what if you don't get your quarterback right, Jake? Like, what are you talking about? All right. I mean, you want to get dunked in? Call in, Jake. You want to get dunked on? Go ahead. I'm waiting for you. Your arguments aren't going to hold water at all. Why? Because they're both amazing strategies. That's the part you're not computing. Enough of your nonsense. Cool story. All right, what else you got? Dial in. Ask away. We'll be back in a little bit for the midnight show. There wasn't really any news at all today. Ayuk did post something new. It was a Spider-Man pointing, the same JD5 one that we have, and he posted it, and it's the meaning behind it is stupid because he's basically just like saying that this is what he put up, just a picture of him, and then he put his new nickname he's giving himself this year, Beasky or whatever he calls himself now. I don't know if this is like a name he's going to call himself on the regular or what he's meaning by it, but he's basically just saying, just a spider. It's just a stupid, meaningless meme that he put up. You're live. Who's this?
Jared from Memphis.
What's up, Jared? What can I do for you?
My question has to do with smaller running backs, like I would say Bucky Irving and even James Cook. How how concerned should we be with them holding up large workloads, and how much do you take into like injury, getting hurt? How much do you consider that when you're drafting?
Very much. Like Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, these are high mileage players that have a significant amount of risk attached to their name. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is. James Cook, not too worried about James Cook from a workload perspective. I think, that presence of DJ Moore could take away more than I'm worried about an injury. But I think James Cook's still very safe. 1-2
Is he going too high though in the end of the first?
I wouldn't say he's going too high. I would say that you're drafting him probably closer to his ceiling than you would want. Like James Cook at the Chase Brown territory or at the Walker territory would be a little bit better, like second drafted player consistently. But he's kind of like an end of round one guy, which he's worth it. I mean, he's been scoring like 14 touchdowns the last 2 seasons, so I don't know how you're going to argue against it. And it's not like the workload was so massive. The thing about James Cook is he's gotten better every year too. Like he's gotten smarter. He's reading defenses better. He's a bright kid. Great offense. Nothing's changing. He's kind of like Chase Brown. He's not Bijan. He's not Gibbs. He's not Achane. He's not Jeremiah Love. Neither Chase Brown or Cook are those guys, but they are very good players that understand football, understand their systems, and they play in a glorious offense. So sometimes that combination is better than a more talented player in a lesser offense. But I think Cook is safe.
I just worry about taking him in the first round. That seems high.
Yeah.
What about Bucky Irving? Are we worried about him staying healthy?
No, because he's going around 5, and you're going to cuff him to Gainwell. If you don't, then you didn't pay attention. If you draft Bucky without Gainwell and Sean Tucker, to be honest, all 3 of them, then yeah, you weren't, not you specifically, but you weren't listening. But Bucky around 5 is great. That package is in all the risk. You cuff him to Gainwell, you're good to go. That offense is going to produce the running back. That's a fantastic. But would I rather have Hendy? Would I rather have Tootin? Yes. But not by much. If you give me Bucky, Gainwell, and Tucker versus just Hendy, I'll rotate that, but I lean a little bit. I'd rotate that 50-50 if you gave me all 3 of the Buccaneer running backs. And then if you
Hendy and Stevenson.
Well, I mean, what can we say? That we already know it's. If Hendy was already given all of the work, he'd be a top 15 overall pick. So you're getting.
Do you think
getting what you pick? Well, let me answer the questions first.
All right.
If you're getting Hendy, and you're getting him in the 5th round, you're packaging in the risk that he might not get on his horse until week 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. And the guy had 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns last year. Going around 5, if he replicates last year where they only really started 2 or 3 games, then Hendy's going to earn his value. He started a couple games last year. He had 5 touchdowns in 2 starts. And he had 4 50-plus yard runs, which was first in the NFL. And all 4 of them resulted in touchdowns. You tell me, 35 receptions.
Potential is massive there.
35 receptions, 1,100 total yards, and 10 touchdowns, and people are disappointed. He's got 2nd-round draft capital. He's not going anywhere.
Do you think it'd be a good strategy with Hendy and Stevenson, like just make them like your RB2 and flex and get all the...
Nope. I just take Hendy and I grab somebody else instead of Stevenson. Give me a BTJ. Give me a quarterback. Look at where Drake May, JD5, Joe Burrow are going. Like, why am I going to mess around with Stevenson? Give me Monangai later. I'd rather have Monangai and Hendy. Cuffing doesn't always do it for me. It has to be a certain, cuffing situation. We've got the cuff board for a reason. Not every cuffing situation is worth it. Like even Pacheco and and Gibbs is not one of the top 5, 6, 7 cuffs in the game because where Pacheco goes. You know, he goes so high. You know, I don't care about cuffing Rodriguez when I love that situation. Hampton, Mitchell, got to do it. Coleman, Harvey have to do it. Monungai, Swift, I'd rather just draft Swift, but if you draft Swift, you better damn well draft Monungai. But I'm just drafting Monungai. I'm not worried about it.
I like cuffing too, but I can't do like Bucky, Gainwell, Tucker. Like I don't have enough space to do
Then you
3.
couldn't draft Bucky.
Yeah.
If you can't cuff McCaffrey to all 2 backups, then you shouldn't draft McCaffrey. If you can't cuff Hampton to Keaton Mitchell at least, you shouldn't draft Hampton. There's certain situations that require the handcuffs, and if you can't house that many running backs because of a running back limitation in your roster, rules, then you shouldn't be drafting those players.
Right. All right, Smitty. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Later, bro. Call on anytime. We'll be back at midnight Eastern. All right. Hammer dropping another $20 super chat. Hammer time again.
It's hammer time.
We said 4th of July things start picking up. We should see that pick up here. I mean, right now, what do we have? 143 watching. I venture to say within the next couple of weeks, we're going to see that slowly climb, and we're going to hit some sort of 500 to 1,000 viewer number soon. So get ready. It's going to be crazy up in this mug. It's like real quiet right now. There's no news today. It's everybody's kind of coming back from the 4th of July. We got the World Cup on USA right now. Honestly, having 145 viewers right now while USA's playing is kind of amazing. If someone is taking, just turn it on the side though. Don't leave the show. If someone is taking Devontae over Allen, they don't know ball. Exactly. You show me somebody that takes Devontae Smith over Josh Allen, they don't know football. They don't know football. I'm sorry if that offends 2 or 3 of you in the chat right now that have been arguing that over and over, but that's your own fault. That's your own fault. To pass on the number 1 overall scorer in fantasy and the idea that I can't replace Devontae Smith with BTJ, MHJ, another receiver in that territory. I mean, I could a handful of players sitting there in around 6 or late 5 that are as good as Devontae Smith. And you're passing on Josh Allen, not to mention McBride or Josh Allen or one of those players. Devontae Smith at 3.3 is just ludicrous. It doesn't mean I don't like him. I like him a lot. He's a real good player. I talked him up before really anybody coming out of college, and I just can't get behind the ADP. Everything's about ADP. Just ridiculous arguments some people are making where they're like, I'll take Devontae Smith over Josh Allen over McBride. Hammer, you're live, young man.
How are you, young man?
Good.
I guess for me, I can't pass on I don't care about the position, but Josh Allen, a player who single-handedly can win you a week over like a Devontae Smith or a Ted McMillan. I don't care if it says QB or tight end. I just want points. So it doesn't make sense to me, I guess. That whole not taking or passing on Josh Allen in the 3rd.
The funniest thing is when somebody says like there's something they've heard over the years, like there's a lot of quarterbacks. There's a lot of quarterbacks that fall. Okay. Look.
I mean, if you just look at like points, I mean, how many times has anyone or has played for a while, literally you've lost to single-handedly Josh Allen?
Yeah, Josh Allen can score 60 points in a game. But again, if you could guarantee me Drake May and 6 will be there for my pick, I would forego Josh Allen. And I do that a lot. But sometimes you need diversification. You can't draft Drake May in every single draft. You want to have diversification across your fantasy football portfolio. And that's why this makes sense, because there's 100,000 ways to win. Josh Allen in 3 and BTJ in 6 is a really, really tough strategy to beat. I could take out anybody else's Devontae Smith and quarterback strategy. Now, I would say this. I very much believe Drake May in round 6 is better than Josh Allen 3. But you're not gonna get Smith. Yeah. Like if you're gonna go Drake May, the argument of Drake May in 6, which we love, give me Buka in 3 before I,
correct.
Or give me like Lab McConkey, Buka.
Yeah, anyone but him and Tet. I'm just not.
Yeah, I think McBride is the easiest one when he's there and people take like a Tet McMillan or a Devontae Smith over McBride. It just makes me scratch my head.
And like, just another thing, like I don't think James Cook is really being drafted too high. I mean, you can say DJ Moore. How I look at it is that just makes the offense better. That's just more scoring opportunities.
It could be.
I mean, I just, again, I want a running back on a good offense. They happen to be one of the best offenses. And even with Josh Allen having 10 rushing touchdowns, he still does that.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
For me, it comes down to just liking a few other running backs more, not at all hating on James Cook. Like, this is nothing to do with James Cook. James Cook doesn't move. He's ranked exactly where he should be in my mind and where I believe is equivalently ranked in other people's minds. But what ends up happening is I personally like Hampton and Genty and Hampton's a little bold for people because I think that they feel like he's more of a second rounder, but I like these two running backs just a little bit more than James Cook this year. Doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean that the person that likes James Cook more is wrong. And I like JJ a little more. I like St. Brown more. I like Lamb chops maybe just a tad more or equal to James Cook. I think if I had to rinse and repeat Lamb and Cook, I would be 50-50. That's pretty close for me. But I just tend to like a couple other players more, which has me making this kind of variant versus a whole lot of James Cook. But I have a couple of James Cook shares. I don't avoid him at all. He's not a bust on any level. It's just a matter of me liking a couple other players a little bit more. That's it. It's not a negative thing on James Cook. James Cook is getting better. He's smart. Reads defense so well. And honestly, I think I do think the offense will change a little bit this year, though, as part of why I'm not also liking Cook more and more each year. I feel like this is going to be. I mean, I think they're going to throw a lot more than people think, and that doesn't mean that Cook won't eat. It just means that will he eat more than Hampton? Will he eat more than Genty? Will he eat more than, I believe, St. Brown or probably even JJ eats? In my opinion, no. But be really close. Really close. Like if you went Cook and AJB and I went JJ and Hampton, they're pretty damn close, man. Really, really close. Or Hampton and AJB versus Cook and AJB, we might be within like 15 points, I think to each their own on that. Nothing wrong with James.
What was I going to say?
Where I will differ with you is on CMC, because it's to me it's just not worth the gamble when the likelihood of CMC being as good as he was last year is almost slim to none because of the way that they're going to dial him back. Number one, number two, the drop off in efficiency. Now they'd have to feed him, which they did last year. They'd have to overfeed him in order to get that same efficiency.
I mean,
or that same production.
You take 50 to 100 points away, he's still RB. That's where I
get it. I get it, but 450 touches is asinine. Like the odds of him, the odds of him staying healthy, it's just going to come down to where people go, oh, if he didn't get hurt. Well, that's part of the thing here. I mean, he's got in one could say he cured his Achilles tendonitis. I highly doubt it. It's diagnosed as chronic. It's not going away. I think he stunted it. I think whatever he did in Germany worked. It freaking worked.
If you were in the second round and he lasted, you wouldn't take him in the second round?
I mean, if it's best ball, much more tempted to do it. Weekly winners, I take them in the first round all the time because if you get 5 weeks out of it, you get 5 shots at 20K because weekly winners is different. Best ball, I would take him in round 2. I don't know at what clip, but I would take him in round 2. In non-best ball, I don't think so because I still value Hampton and Achane and AJB as safer options. I just think those guys are scoring 14 touchdowns, or in Achane's case, however it shakes out for him, if it's less touchdowns, he's going to get a lot of yardage, a lot of receptions. He's going to be the focal point of everything. But for me, I want Hampton over Christian McCaffrey. So if you told me he fell to the bottom of 2, like, yeah, I'd be taking a whole bunch more of them. But if you're telling me like he just slipped into 2 where Hampton and Walker and Chase Brown and those guys are going, I mean, would I dabble? I'm sure a couple times, but I don't think it would be as much as you think. I mean, that doesn't change anything for me. Moving him down like 4 or 5 spots doesn't change the players that I like more than within CMC. You got to remember, what I'm predicting is not that there's a likelihood of getting hurt. I'm predicting he gets hurt. I'm predicting he slows the hell down even more, or they break him. And if they don't break him, they're dialing him back so much that we're not going to see the volume. And what it'll be is inconsistency too. It'll be like he'll do nothing for 3 games, then he'll have a big game. Then it's going to be painful to watch because they will, especially if they're up and winning. Let's say they'll pull him, and they've never done that before. But Shanahan's been very clear that they're not going to play him as much this year. But we'll see. I mean, his metrics are also all the way down into the cellar. I know the volume was crazy.
Like I said, from an efficiency, I don't care about his.
Yeah, I do though. I do though, because we might not get the same volume. So the efficiency is important to me when it comes to an older player, because you can't just expect the volume to keep taking care of it. You know, he's one of the most likely to get injured running backs in the league because it's in every other, whenever he has a big touch season, he gets hurt the next year. That pattern is there. Number 2, it's 450 touches. We could go through players that get 450 touches, and 8 times out of 10, they don't have a good year the next year. It's not that they take a little dip. They don't have a good year. Like Barkley actually survived, which was unique for the amount of volume he got, but we knew he was going to fall off. Like that Barkley was the biggest avoid last year in round 1 because he just got too many touches. It's impossible for the body to recover from that, especially when you talk about how late those touches dipped into too. It's not like it was, regular season, 413 touches, whatever it was. He got 450 all the way, pushing it through the playoffs. Like, this man was abused. And people could say, oh, you said that last year or whatever. And yeah, you'd be correct. It did get said last year, but to me, it comes down to, I'm going to have the best of both worlds. To me, I'm going to grab the Kalen Black, or Jordan James if I've got a huge roster and I can house all these running backs. But I'm going to have Kalen Black and I'm going to have Genty. I'm going to have Kalen Black. I'm going to have Hampton. I'm going to have Kalen Black. I'm going to have Achane. And in my mind, I'm going to have 2 starting running backs at some point. But that's me. I understand people want to ride these trains when they're still on the tracks. To me, I'm not going to lose a single bit of sleep if I'm wrong, because even if I'm wrong, I'm not going to be wrong on this, because I'm still getting a player that I believe is going to score the exact same amount of points as Christian McCaffrey, dialed back, saving him, dial him back. I'm going to get the same kind of scoring without any of the same risk. Every player's got a risk of injury. That's a whole different bucket of risk. Anybody can have a random torn ACL tear, but McCaffrey has that too. But McCaffrey also has a different bucket that they set down that it's full of injury risk. But like I said to you, Hammer, earlier, and I said this on my stream last night, the best advice I could give somebody that wants to go down the Christian McCaffrey road is hedge your bets by taking Kalen Black and Jordan James in the leagues where you don't have Christian McCaffrey. Because and make sure you have him in the leagues where you have McCaffrey. Because if I'm wrong and McCaffrey balls out, then you're winning those leagues. And the Kalen Black and Jordan James shares that you picked up really late in your non-CMC leagues, no harm, no foul. You don't lose anything. It doesn't hurt you at all. If I'm right, you get saved because Kalen Black and Jordan James save you. And you also have a chance to win leagues in those other leagues. So you want to dabble in it. Just make sure you're covering your bases and you're dipping into the Kalen Black and Jordan James game in all of your leagues so that you can really cover and hedge everything. That would be my advice when it comes to Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. So that was pretty much all I had. I appreciate it.
Yeah. What any other piece of news out there you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. So like from a risk standpoint, does Daniel Jones and his health scare you more than Jonathan Taylor versus CMC? Just based off what you saw, just how he wasn't even playable when something happened to Daniel Jones. And an Achilles, that's not like, not anything minor. So I'm just trying to understand like everyone's risk.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a concern. I mean, the fact that JT fell off the map, once Daniel Jones went down, it's a concern for sure. But he is, still capable of scoring. We won't necessarily see, the exact same result if Daniel Jones went down where JT's like, incapacitated. Like it might be different. It doesn't have to be the exact same scenario, but he definitely isn't the same guy without Daniel Jones in there. The way I look at it with the Achilles situations is he's rushing back a little bit. He's mobile, and it's the mobility that concerns me. If he's going to go out there and try and run the same, he's a high-risk candidate to re-tear that Achilles or the other one. Because when you're compensating enough to tear your Achilles, it's not always a random, or really isn't a random tear. It's a wearing down of the Achilles tendon. An ACL tear is random because your ACL is sound until you just snap it like a rubber band. The Achilles is tons of almost, you could think of it like little tiny ropes that are woven around just like an army rope. And one strand breaks, another little strand breaks, doesn't affect anything. They start breaking, and eventually it gets, you have tendonitis, it gets really inflamed, and it's susceptible to just snapping off of explosion and stretching it based on how the person's running. So he comes with an inherent risk of tearing the other Achilles because the odds of one of the Achilles being worn down enough to snap and the other one being completely healthy are slim to none. But, you look at Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins plodding around. They're just plotters. They're just kind of like, they didn't put their Achilles at much risk at all because they didn't, they weren't running and exploding. So I am a little more concerned about Daniel Jones. The one thing I'll tell you, though, is he's not necessarily going to be putting himself in the same position as a running back would, or George Kittle for that matter, where you are literally blocking, you are literally planting like a running back. Imagine, people don't realize how abusive the running back position is. You're taking the football, you're running through a hole that isn't there, and there's 300-pound linemen everywhere, and they're knocking you left and right, and your Achilles and all your muscles don't know which way you're going, and the randomness of the flexing and the exploding, and you're charging up your leg. There's so much stress and pressure on your Achilles and all your muscles. It's just, that's one reason why no running back has ever tore their Achilles tendon in the pro game and returned to or become a top 10 running back ever. We've never had a top 10 running back or a running back return to top 10 form when they tear their Achilles tendon in the pros. And the reason for that isn't because they can't eventually get back the explosion. It's because it takes a good 2 years to ever return to your form, and the hole closes too quickly in the league for a running back, for a team to wait around for a running back to get that explosion back. And so typically players will rush back. Cam Akers rushed back, tore it again. I predicted he'd tear it, and he did. Deontay Foreman's the only other running back and J.K. Dobbins that have flirted with the idea of becoming potentially a top 10 running back again from an Achilles tear. Jadarian Price, I believe, tore it in college, but that was in college. But it's something to consider with his longevity for sure. But in the college game, different, and he's obviously proven to be explosive again. And part of the knock on an Achilles torn running back is the timing of waiting, because you're a 4 or 5 year shelf life player. Teams don't wait around for that. The younger you are, the better. The bigger contract you are, the better chance you have. We will eventually have an Achilles torn running back in the pros return to top 10 running back form, but it hasn't happened yet. So my point being is the running back position is far different. The quarterback position, I do believe that JT has a shot at being a top 5 to 10 running back, and trying to predict Daniel Jones's injury to then predict JT is a little couple degrees of separation away. It makes it hard to play that game fully. But I understand, I understand why you would, goal. Oh God, US. Worst defense, man.
But yeah, that was all I had. I again,
it's over.
Against most, I'm taking McCaffrey. But again, I obviously, if you take him and you don't have him cuffed, then again, you're just foolish.
You got to cuff him. You got to cuff him. And again, but keep my advice in mind though.
Standalone value. I'm still taking those guys at the end of the draft.
Right. And even more so if you have McCaffrey in a big league, take Jordan James and Kalen Black in those other leagues to hedge it. And then you'll be, if things go awry, you'll be basking in the glory of Kalen Black and James so much so that you won't be that down about the McCaffrey situation. But yeah, to answer again your question on the Achilles, I would just say it's a factor. The Achilles recovery of Daniel Jones, given the collapse of JT when Daniel Jones left the lineup, it is a factor. It does make me drop him above or below like 2 or 3 running backs, but I can only drop JT so far.
True. Well, I appreciate it, my man.
All right. Appreciate you, Hammer. Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Later, bro. Gray Skull says, I got Tootin song idea. We should do a collab. Well, I'm a little busy, Gray Skull, but you're certainly welcome to call up on the phone line and sing it for us, and I'll maybe clip it as the Tootin song. I hear LaDainian Thomason, thank you for the super chat. I hear Daniel Thomason shared the other day he plays fantasy and he isn't drafting CMC. Yeah, even Tomlinson is against, thank you, Overcome. Even Tomlinson's against believing in Christian McCaffrey doing it another time because the 450 touch curse is... It used to be the 371 carry curse. Now it's, I think 450 total touches suffices as the curse. Like it's not good. The odds of Christian McCaffrey at his age with his injury risk with chronic Achilles tendonitis diagnosis getting through an entire season again that even remotely resembles last year, which is what he would require at his cost of entry. It's just the odds are against it. And if I'm wrong, I'm not even wrong because I'm drafting another player that's going to easily earn what Christian McCaffrey is going to get, even if he produces. Like, why not avoid the injury risk? I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to understand. I will not be here licking my wounds if McCaffrey finishes as running back 4. I won't, because I could take Genty. I can take JSN. JSN falls to 5 and 6 all the time. I'll take JSN all day long over McCaffrey. I'll take Genty and St. Brown. St. Brown's wide receiver 4 every year. There's less risk. There's never zero risk. Any player can get hurt. But I'm getting a player that at the end of the day, you come up to me and say, Smitty, McCaffrey was running back 4. You feel bad about your prediction? No. I didn't lose a single wink of sleep at all. I didn't feel wrong at all. I'll feel wrong if he's by far and away running back 1 again. God, USA's done. They were a 5% chance of winning the whole thing for a reason. You know, it was a Cinderella story to this point, but best team we've, I think, probably had a chance of winning a World Cup with, but this is disappointing for sure, though. Very disappointing. Thank you, Gray Skull. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you, Overcome. Kalen Black or Jordan James in Superflex running back 2. Nothing is set in stone yet, my boy. It's just not. Right now, if Christian McCaffrey went down now, Jordan James would probably start week 1. You know, if it happens in week 7, Kalen Black probably starts. So you just kind of like predicted. That's why you need both of them. And if you can't have both of them, you shouldn't be drafting Christian McCaffrey, period. You're live. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
This is Gray Skull.
What's up, Gray Skull?
Coming with a hot one right off the press.
Are you singing this one?
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Let me put down the music. Okay, go ahead. And no expletives, nothing vulgar.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, nothing vulgar. It's not vulgar.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Draft facial, the facial 210. I mean, what are you even doing? His ADP will be moving. So draft facial, the facial 210. And then your part could be like, too dead. He's going to explode. You know?
Uh-huh. Okay. I'll consult with Denny and we'll see if we can cook something up. I appreciate it, bro.
All right, man. I'm just messing with you.
No, I think you're only messing with us because you didn't get the standing ovation. Look here, I like it. Very, very good job. Standing ovation. Standing ovation. Thank you. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Later.
Tootin'. All right. I love how he's pretending he's joking though. Like didn't sound the same as other. Just kidding. Let me use the kidding card. No, Gray Skull, that was a good job. Look, rock out. You, Denny, seem to be the trio. I'd love to get you all three on the phone line at the same time to hum it. You know, I love Denny. If you're out there, call in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back at midnight Eastern. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for the super chats. Did I get to everybody's overcome? Appreciate you very much. Tomlinson, yeah, Tomlinson ain't drafting Christian McCaffrey either. You know, Gray Skull, appreciate you. Hammer, thank you for the Double super chats. Be back at midnight Eastern. We'll be drafting on Underdog, promo code Smitty. Make sure you are signed up on Underdog using promo code Smitty. Link is in the description of the video. The link will drop in the live chat right now. There it is. I'm going to pin it in the live chat. See you all at midnight Eastern to draft. And hopefully we have some more news. Little slow day on the news wire today. So if we get more news, you know your boy will break it at midnight Eastern. But we'll be drafting regardless, probably implementing a draft strategy of choice as well. See you all at midnight Eastern. Oh. Also, the Four Horsemen this year. We usually create a video on this, so expect one. The Four Horsemen. Gibbs, Genty, Hampton, Hendy. Tootin's watching from the corner. He potentially wants to be one of the Four Horsemen, but the Four Horsemen this year are Gibbs, Genty, Hampton, Hendy. Do it live. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live when almost every time big news breaks, and live almost every single midnight. So see you guys at midnight. Deuce. Thank you for the super chats.